It's Cleveland Indians baseball. We're at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore as the Cleveland Indians get ready to take on the Baltimore Orioles. It is Sunday, July 12th, the last day of the season before the All-Star break. Sam McDowell takes the mound for Cleveland. He's made 20 starts on the year. He's 7-9 with an ERA of 5.70. This is his fourth start against Baltimore. He is 1-1 with a 5.43 ERA against them. Dave Leonard makes the start for Baltimore. He's making his first start of the year. It's a hot day here in Baltimore. It's 87 degrees. Last night, the Indians really surprised the Orioles and their fans, sweeping a twilight doubleheader. Indians won game one, 8-4. Ray Fosse had 4 hits. Vince Colbert had an excellent start. He got tired a little bit in the ninth inning, and Steve McGorry had to come in to finish up the game. Then in game two, the Indians beat the Orioles 9-2. Vada Pinson got 3 hits. Mike Paul made his first start of the year for the Indians, and he was excellent, getting a complete game win. Indians are 29-60 right now. They are 34 and a half games behind the first place Baltimore Orioles. Baltimore is 62-24. They have the best record in the major leagues, but they're hobbling a little bit right now. They have Powell, Dave Johnson, and Dave McNally all on the disabled list. And they have Mark Belanger hobbling around on a bad leg. Dave Johnson was the winner of the All-Star game voting for second baseman, but he will be unable to appear in the All-Star game Tuesday night in Detroit. All right, and let's look at the starting lineups for the Cleveland Indians. Leading off the right fielder, Vada Pinson. Batting second, the first baseman, Chris Chambliss. Batting third, the center fielder, Ted Uhlaender. Batting fourth, the third baseman, Greg Nettles. Batting fifth, the catcher, Ray Fosse. Or he's batting fifth. Did I say fourth? Batting sixth, the shortstop, Fred Stanley. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Eddie Leone. Batting eighth, the left fielder, Frank Baker. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Sam McDowell. And on defense, the Orioles have Frank Robinson at first base. Brooks Robinson playing second base. Chico Simone at short. Don Buford at third. Merv Rettenman in left. Paul Blair in center. Kurt Moten in right. Andy Etchebarren in catching. And on the mound, Dave Leonard. Hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Dave Leonard has a record of no wins, no losses. He has an ERA of 18.0. He has pitched 1 inning this season. giving up 3 hits. He was called up on July 10th. Which was yesterday. Yeah, he pitched an inning in the first game of the doubleheader yesterday. Leading off is Veda Pinson hitting .252, 8 home runs, 28 runs batted in. Yesterday, he led off both games of the doubleheader with a home run. The 0-2 pitch. It's a grounder to first. Frank Robinson's up with it. He'll take it himself. 1 out. Here's Chris Chambliss. He's hitting .318, 5 home runs, 20 runs batted in. He's hitting .353 in July. The 0-2 pitch just below the belt. Strike 3 called. 2 outs, and here is Ted Uhlaender, who's hitting .311. No home runs and 23 runs batted in. Is 8th in the league with a .311. Batting in. Liner down the right field line. That's fair. It's in the corner. Moten is after it. It'd be extra bases. Uhlaender rounding second. Into third. He slides. He is safe. That is his 3rd triple of the year. Yeah, now I'm curious to see if Brooks Robinson has ever played second base before. (1959 through 1961), he got into several games at second base. Here is Greg Nettles hitting .265, 26 home runs, 73 runs batted in. Hitting just .163 in July. Up and in, ball 1. Did get a hit in game 2 yesterday. Yeah, he hit a triple in game 2 yesterday and a single in game 1. Strike 1 called. 1 ball, 1 strike. Inside, ball 2. It's a blooper into right field. That's a base hit. Uhlaender scores. For the 3rd game in a row against the Orioles, the Indians jump out to a 1-0 lead. They lost Friday night to Baltimore 11-2, and then surprised them with the doubleheader sweep last night. I got to admit, seeing 2 good pitching performances on the same day was quite a good pick-me-up from the Bad taste in my mouth I had from the game on Friday when Indians pitchers gave up 11 walks. Here is Ray Fosse. He's hitting an even 300. 6 home runs, 46 runs batted in. He was 4 for 5 in the first game of the doubleheader yesterday. That was actually his second game. The second time he had a 4-hit game against the Orioles this year. Brett Stanley's on deck. Fouls it back. Strike one. Pops it up. Etchebarren to the backstop. But that's out of play. Strike two. Curveball. Ball one. Base hit into center field. Blair coming in. He had to play it on the hop. Nettles round second. He'll take third easily. Runners at the corners. 2 outs. And here's Fred Stanley, who's hitting .340. 4 home runs, 24 runs batted in. High and outside. Ball one. There's a little bit of chin music there. Ball two. Too high. Ball three. 3 balls. No strikes. Got the inside corner. Strike one. Stanley was taking all the way. 3 balls. 1 strike. 2 outs. It's a high fly ball in the left field. Rettenman drifting back. And he makes the catch. 3 outs. But Cleveland gets 1 run. 3 hits, no errors. They left 2 on base. We go to the bottom of the first. It is Cleveland 1, Baltimore coming to bat. Baltimore's starting lineup will be third baseman Don Buford leading off. Batting second, the left fielder, Merv Rettenman. Batting third, the center fielder, Paul Blair. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Frank Robinson. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Kurt Moton. Batting sixth, the catcher, Andy Etchebarren. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Brooks Robinson. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Chico Simone. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Dave Leonard. On defense, Cleveland has Chris Chambliss at first base, Eddie Leone at second, Fred Stanley at short, Greg Nettles at third, Frank Baker in left, Ted Uhlaender in center, Vada Pinson in right, Ray Fosse catching, and on the mound, Sam McDowell. Sam McDowell's been very inconsistent this year after winning the Cy Young Award last year. 7-9 with a 5.70 ERA. He has walked 103 and struck out 133. He has a whip of 1.8. He was a spring training holdout, so he got a late start in spring training, and maybe that's what's holding him back. He won the Cy Young Award also in 1965. But he followed that up with a good season in 1966. And then he had a very subpar season in 1967, which the Indians suspected that he may have been hiding an injury from them. Leading off for the Orioles is Don Buford, hitting 292 with 12 home runs and 41 runs batted in. The 0-2 pitch. It's a blooper to second, but that's right at Eddie Leon. 1 out. Here is Merv Rettenmund. He's hitting 289, 8 home runs, 49 runs batted in. He was in spring training expecting to be a utility outfielder this year, but he got into a lot of games early in the year when Frank Robinson got off to a very poor start. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's a liner right to second. That one's hit right at Eddie Leon. 2 outs. There's Paul Blair, the center fielder. He's hitting 222. 3 home runs and 29 runs batted in. The 2-2 pitch. He hits a fly ball in center field. Uhlaender going back at the wall. It's off the wall. Blair around second. He's heading for third. He slides, and he is safe. That's his second triple of the year. 2 outs. Runner on third. Here's Frank Robinson, who's hitting 265, 7 home runs, 29 runs batted in. He had a terrible April and May. And there were whispers as Frank Robinson threw, as he finished, is he getting too old? He's 36 years old. And then he responded by hitting 364 in June, and he's been hitting 311 in July. So I guess that's his way of saying, no, I am not through. Friday night when the Orioles beat the Indians 11-2, Frank Robinson had his season high in hits with 4. And his season high with runs, scoring 4 runs. So 2 outs, runner on third. Kurt Moton is on deck. First pitch. Robinson hits a hard grounder to third. Nettles is up with it. The throw to first. 3 outs. Baltimore gets no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They left 1 on base. We played 1 here at Memorial Stadium. It is Cleveland 1, Baltimore nothing. Eddie Leon leads off for Cleveland in the second. He's hitting 291 with 2 home runs and 31 runs batted in. He's having an excellent year so far. Hitting 286 against right-handers. The 1-2 pitch. Liner in the right field. Base hit. Moton was coming in quickly, but he had to play it on the hop. Here is rookie Frank Baker. He's hitting 238, 1 home run, and 8 runs batted in. He's hitting 324 in July. He was 2 for 3 in the second game of the doubleheader last night and 2 for 4 in the Indians lost to Baltimore Friday night. Hitting 400 against Baltimore. Ball 1. Grounder down the first base line, but that's foul. It's a fly ball in the right field. Kurt Moton coming in. And he's got it. One out. Here is Sam McDowell. Sudden Sam is hitting 179. No home runs, 3 runs batted in. He's 7 for 39 on the year. They're playing him in for the bunt. And Sam McDowell is a good bunter. He squares the bunt. It's out in front of the plate. Etchebarren picks it up. His only throw is to Brooks Robinson at second. 2 outs. McDowell is retired and Leone takes second on the sacrifice. Here's Veda Pinson. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out in the first inning. Today was the first game of the 4-game series that he did not lead off with at least a hit. Last night he led off both games with a home run. Ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Ball 2. Changeup. Strike 1 called. It's 1 bouncer to short. Simone up with it. The throw to first. 3 outs. No runs. 1 hit. No errors. 1 left. We go to the bottom of the second. Cleveland 1. Baltimore nothing. Kurt Moton leads off for Baltimore in the bottom of the second. He's hitting 227. No home runs and 2 runs batted in. This is his second start of the year. He is normally a pinch hitting specialist for Baltimore. He is 4 for 18 as a pinch hitter. Three-two pitch. It's a grounder to third. Nettles to his left. Go to first. 1 out. Here is Andy Etchebarren. He's hitting 275, 6 home runs, and 23 runs batted in. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Fossey drops the ball, and he has to throw to first for the out. 2 outs. Here is Brooks Robinson playing second base today. He's hitting 297 with 10 home runs and 51 runs batted in. Last time he played second base was back in 1962. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's a fly ball in the left center. Baker drifting over to his left, and he's got it. 3 outs. Nothing across for Baltimore. In the second, we played 2. It is Cleveland 1, Baltimore nothing. Chris Chambliss leads off for Cleveland. He's 0 for 1 today. He struck out back in the first inning. The 3-1 pitch. It's a hard grounder to second. Brooks Robinson's up with it. Go to first. 1 out. Ted Uhlaender, he's 1 for 1. He tripled in the first inning. He scored later on. Base hit up the middle. Second hit of the day for Ted Uhlaender. And here's Greg Nettles. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the first, and that drove in Ted Uhlaender. Ball 1. Low roller down the third base line, but that's foul. Fly ball to right field. Moten going back. He's near the track. He's got it. 2 outs. And it's Ray Fosse. He's 1 for 1. He singled in the first inning. We got hit on the arm. Lander moves to second. Fosse's on first. That is the 7th time he has been hit by a pitch this year. Here's Fred Stanley. He's 0 for 1. He flied out in the first inning. Hitting .353 against right-handers. Low and outside, ball 1. Eddie Leon is on deck. In too close, ball 2. Caught the inside part of the plate, strike 1 called. Low and inside. He checked his swing. Etchebarren appeals first. Nope, he held up. Ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. He looks at strike 2. So we have a full count. 2 outs. Runners on first and second. The payoff pitch. Ball 4. First walk of the day given up by Dave Leonard. Bases loaded. 2 outs, and here's Eddie Leon, who's 1 for 1. He singled last inning. He's 1 for 8 with the bases loaded. It's a grounder to short. Small tosses to Brooks Robinson. 3 outs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 3 men left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. It is Cleveland 1, Baltimore nothing. Chico Simone leads off for Baltimore. Hitting .250, 4 home runs, 11 runs batted in. The 1-0 pitch. It's a grounder to short. Stanley to his right. Has it. Throw to first. 1 out. Here is Dave Leonard making his first appearance at the plate this season. He's a pretty good hitting pitcher, so we'll see what happens. 2-1 pitch. It's a liner in the left field. Baker dives. And he comes up with it for the out. Nice play by Frank Baker. 2 outs. And here's Don Buford, who's 0 for 1. He lined out to Eddie Leon in the first inning. Hitting .311 in July. The 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Swat given up by Sam McDowell today. Here's Merv Rettenman. He's 0 for 1. He lined out to Eddie Leon in the first. Wing and a miss on the curveball. Strike 1. Fastball. Buford's going for second. The throw. He's safe. That's his 8th stolen base. That pitch was called a strike, so the count is 0-2 on Rettenman. It's a shallow fly ball in the left field. Baker, Stanley after it, but it makes the seats. Count remains 0-2. Up and outside, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Low, just inside, ball 2. 2 balls. 2 strikes. 2 outs. Runner on second. Liner down the third base line. It's foul. Count remains 2-2. It's all 2s. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second. And the second hitter in the lineup at the plate. Curveball, pops it up. Fosse's under it. Oh, he dropped it. fourth error of the year. Hits a hard grounder to third. Nettles has it. The throw to first. 3 outs. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left. We played 3 in Baltimore. Cleveland 1, Baltimore nothing. Take a look around the league. Bottom of the third in Cincinnati. Mets and the Reds are tied 2-2. That is Nolan Ryan against Wayne Simpson. Top of the fourth in Philadelphia. Montreal 1, Philadelphia nothing. That's Ernie McAnally against Woody Fryman. Philadelphia happens to be the only team in the majors with a worse record than Cleveland. Top of the fourth in D.C. Tigers lead the Senators 1-0. Dick McAuliffe his 13th home run for Detroit. Mickey Lolich against Dick Bosman. A lot of talk in Washington about owner Bob Short selling the team or possibly moving it to Dallas-Fort Worth. Enough talk that Commissioner Bowie Kuhn has put a gag order on talking about it during the All-Star game festivities. And top of the fourth at Yankee Stadium. No score between the Red Sox and the Yankees. That's Sonny Siebert against Fritz Peterson. And now, back to Memorial Coliseum for the top of the fourth. It will be Frank Baker, Sam McDowell, and Vada Pinson for the Indians. Frank Baker's 0 for 1. He flied out in the second inning. The 0-1 pitch. It's grounder down the line to first base. Gets past Moten. It's in the corner. It's rattling around. This will be extra bases. Baker's at second. He rounds second. He's going for third. He slides and he's safe with a triple. It's his first triple of the year. That might be, let me check it, the first triple of his career. Nope, he had 1 triple in 1969. He got into 15 games with the Indians in 69. Here is Sam McDowell. He sacrificed last time up. Playing him in for the bunt. There goes Baker. Suicide squeeze. McDowell lays one down. Frank Robinson throws to Brooks Robinson. There's 1 out. And Baker scores. It's Cleveland 2, Baltimore nothing. Here's Vada Pinson. He's 0 for 2 today. Chris Chambliss is on deck. The 2-0 pitch. Liner into right field. Base hit for Pinson. Here's Chris Chambliss. He's 0 for 2 today. This pitch, changeup. There goes Pinson. Pitch appearance, throw. Pinson's safe. That's his 20th stolen base of the year. There's not a chance to get him. Pitch was a strike, so it's no balls. 1 strike, 1 out. Run around second. Down and in, ball 1. High and outside, ball 2. He looks at strike 2. Low, ball 3, full count. Ball tip, count remains full. Low and away, ball 4. Runners on first and second, 1 out, and here's Ted Uhlaender, who's 2 for 2. He tripled in the first and scored the first run of the game, and he singled in the third. Barron goes to confer with Leonard. Hitting .333 with runners in scoring position. Too high, ball one. It's a grounder to short. Mullins only plays the first. 2 outs. But the runners advance. Cleveland has 2 outs. Runners on second and third, and here's Greg Nettles, who's 1 for 2. He singled in the first. That drove in Ted Uhlaender. Too high, ball one. Inside on the black, strike one. Yeah, it looks like the Orioles and the Indians both have some bullpens full of guys with tired arms, just looking forward to having 3 days off. He's hit into right field. Pinson scores. Chambliss comes around. He scores. It's 4-0 Cleveland. Ray Fosse, he's 1 for 1. He singled in the first, and he was hit by a pitch in the third. Shallow fly ball down the left field line. Rettenman's after it, but it makes the seats. Fly ball into right center. Moten to his right. And he has it. 3 outs. But the Indians get 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors. They left 1 on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It is Cleveland 4, Baltimore nothing. Paul Blair leads off. He's 1 for 1. He tripled in the first. The 0-2 pitch. He tipped it. Fosse held on. Strike 3. Strikeout number 2 for McDowell. Here's Frank Robinson. He's 0 for 1 today. The 2-2 pitch. Inside corner at the knee. Strike 2 call. Strike 3 called. 2 outs. And here's Kurt Moten. He's 0 for 1. The 2-2 pitch. It's a liner in the left field, but it's right at Frank Baker. 3 outs. Nothing across in the bottom of the 4th. We played 4. Cleveland leads 4-0. Fred Stanley leads off the 5th for Cleveland. He's 0 for 1 today. Eddie Leon's on deck. The 0-2 pitch. Swing, foul tip, and Etchebarren hung on to that. Strikeout for a strikeout. Strikeout number 2 for Leonard. And here's Eddie Leon. He's 1 for 2. He singled back in the 2nd inning. 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. That bounced. First inning in St. Louis. Houston gets off to a 5-0 start against the Cardinals. Here's Frank Baker. He is 1 for 2. He tripled in the 4th. Leon's on first. That was the 3rd walk of the game given up by Dave Leonard. At the shoulders and wide. Ball 1. Just off the ground. Ball 2. That's low. Ball 3. 3 balls. No strikes. In at the knee. Strike 1. He's taken all the way. Line shot down the first base line, but that's foul. 3-2 pitch. 1 out. Fouls it back. Count remains full. We're underway in Minnesota. No score between the Royals and the Twins. Twins, quite a story this year. They won the World Series last year, and they are languishing in last place in the American League West right now. 21 games behind the division leading Oakland A's. Fouls it back. Count remains full. He fouls it back again. Bob Lemon, the manager of the Royals, he likes his team. Got them up in a fourth place in the AL West. The record of 37-45. Thinks that the Royals have a decent chance at finishing the season at 500. It's a blooper to short, but that's right at Chico Simone. 2 outs. Here is Sam McDowell. He hit a sacrifice bunt in the second. And a sacrifice bunt on a suicide squeeze in the fourth. That scored Frank Baker. So he does not have an official trip to the plate today. Caught the inside edge, strike one. Swing and a miss, strike two. That's wide of the plate. Ball one. It's a hard grounder up the middle. Brooks Robinson to his right has it. Throws him out. No runs, no hits, no errors. The Indians left one on base. We go to the bottom of the fifth. It is Cleveland 4, Baltimore nothing. For Baltimore in the fifth will be Andy Etchebarren, Brooks Robinson, and Chico Simone. Andy Etchebarren is 0 for 1 today. The 2-2 pitch. It's a deep fly ball in the center. Uhlaender going back, and it's gone. Home run number 7 for Andy Etchebarren. That is the 17th home run given up this year by Sam McDowell. The Indians pitching's 2 Achilles heels this year. Giving up too many walks and giving up too many home runs. It's 4-1 Cleveland. Here's Brooks Robinson. He is 0 for 1 today. Hitting .364 against Cleveland. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He got fooled on the changeup there. That pitch was out of the zone, and he was way in front of it. 1 out. Here's Chico Simone. He's 0 for 1. He's hitting just 195 in July. The 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. 2 outs. Here's Dave Leonard. He's 0 for 1 today. The 1-2 pitch. In at the knee. Strike 3 called. Strikeout number 6 for McDowell. But the Orioles get 1 run, 1 hit, no errors on the Etchebarren home run. We have played 5. It's an official game here in Baltimore. Cleveland leads 4-1. Vada Pinson leads off for Cleveland. He is 1 for 3. He singled in the fourth. First pitch. Base hit in the left center. Blair comes up with it. He tosses it back in. Nobody out. Here's Chris Chambliss. He's 0 for 2 today. Struck out in the first, and he grounded out in the third. He walked in the fourth and scored a run. Ball 1. Ball 2. Ball 3. One called. That's in there for a strike. Strike two. Go to first. Pinson's back. Pinson just beat that throw. Played ball four. Fourth walk given up by Dave Leonard. Here's Ted Ullander, who's 2 for 3. He tripled in the first and singled in the third. He didn't look very good in spring training. Wasn't used much in the first couple weeks of the season, but he is coming on strong. He's having himself a good year. Roller up the middle. Simone, who is left, has it. Throw to first. 1 out. And the runners advance. Pinson on third. Jamos on second. Here comes Earl Weaver, and that's all for Leonard. Coming in a pitch for Baltimore is Tom Dukes, making his 20th appearance of the season. He has a record of 4-2 with 3 saves, an ERA of 3.38. This is his first year in the American League. He pitched for the Astros, then went over to the Padres in the expansion draft, and he came over to Baltimore from San Diego along with Pat Dobson. Here's Greg Nettles, who's 2 for 3. He singled in the first. That scored Ted Ullander. And he singled in the fourth, scoring Pinson and Chambliss. He has 3 runs batted in tonight. High and inside, ball 1. Wing and a miss, strike 1. We swung at a bad pitch, strike 2. Change up, ball 1. Dukes is a hard-throwing right-hander. Has to keep the ball low, so the infield has to be ready. Below the knees, ball 3, full count. 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. Fouls it back. Count remains full. Slow roller down the first base line. It's foul. Fouls it back. Low one inside, ball 4. Nettles would not give in. 1 out, bases loaded. Here's Ray Fosse, who's 1 for 2. Singled in the first, and he was hit by a pitch in the third. He's 3 for 11 with the bases loaded. Fred Stanley's on deck. Strike 1 called. 2, that was called a little late. The 0-2 pitch. Fly ball down the left field line, but that's hooking foul. Fly ball in the right field. Moten drifting back. He's at the track. He's got it. 2 outs. Pinson tags, and he'll score. It's 5-1, Cleveland. They got the run back after the Etchebarren home run. Here is Fred Stanley. He's 0 for 2 today. Hitting 391 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Hits it right up the middle. Brooks Robinson to his right. Has it. And he throws him out. But the Indians get 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. They left 2 men on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is Cleveland 5, Baltimore 1. And that's 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. They've left 10 men on base. Baltimore has 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. They've left 2 men on base. Big hit of the game for the Indians was with 2 outs, runners on second and third in the 4th inning. Greg Nettles singled. That scored Vada Pinson and Chris Chambliss. Don Buford leads off for Baltimore in the 6th. He's 0 for 1. He walked in the 3rd. He has an 8-game hitting streak. The 0-1 pitch. It's a fly ball in the left field. Frank Baker going back, and he's got it. 1 out. There's Merv Rettenman. He's 0 for 2. 3-2 pitch. Little too high. Ball 4. Second walk given up by McDowell. Here's Paul Blair. He's 1 for 2. He tripled in the 1st. He has 1 of 2 hits for Baltimore today. Hitting 188 against lefties. I caught the corner. Strike 1. The 0-1 pitch. Check swing. He didn't swing. Ball 1. Ball 2. Ball 3. 3 balls. 1 strike. Up the middle. That's a base hit. Rettenman stops at second. Baltimore has 1 out. Runners on first and second. And here's Frank Robinson, who's 0 for 2. .298 in July. He struck out in the 4th. For his first rally of the day. Wing and a miss, strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Too low, ball 2. Fly ball in the right center. Pinson running over. He's got it. 2 outs. Here's Kurt Moton. He is 0 for 2 today. Change up. Too low. Ball 1. When McDowell makes me nervous when he suddenly can't find the plate. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 on the curveball. Change up. He tipped that 1. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's a liner to short. And Stanley takes 1 step to his right. And he has it. 3 outs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 left. We played 6 in Baltimore. Cleveland 5. Baltimore 1. Eddie Leon leads off for Cleveland in the 7th. He's 1 for 2 today. Singled in the 2nd, and he walked in the 5th. The 0-1 pitch. It's a liner to the shortstop. No! Salmon took it right off the ground. And he throws him out. 1 out. Here is Frank Baker. He's 1 for 3. He tripled in the 4th. They came in and scored a run. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball. Strike 3 call. First strikeout for Tom Dukes. Dan McDowell, he's 0 for 1. Hit sacrifice bunt in the second. Hit sacrifice bunt in the fourth. That was a suicide squeeze that Baker scored on. The fourth, and he grounded the second in the fifth. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nothing across for Cleveland. We go to the bottom of the seventh. Cleveland 5, Baltimore 1. Let's go back around the league. Top of the seventh in Cincinnati. Mets lead the Reds now 7-2. Jerry Grody's 2 for 2 with 5 runs batted in. It's Nolan Ryan against Tony Cloninger. Bottom of the seventh in Philadelphia. Expos and Phillies tied at 2. Still Ernie Mancinelli against Woody Fryman. Top of the third at Comiskey Park. Well, I don't know if they were calling it White Sox Park in 1971 or not. Brewers lead the White Sox 4-1. Andy Cosco hit his 11th home run for Milwaukee. It's Marty Patton against Wilbur Wood. Andy Cosco, he was a hero of the 1969 National League Championship Series for the Dodgers. Top of the fourth in Minnesota, Royals and Twins, no score. That's Paul Splittorff against Bert Blyleven. Blyleven's looking for his 15th win of the year. Rookie of the year last year. Bottom of the sixth in Washington. Tigers and Senators tied at 2. Former Indian Dave Nelson hit his 3rd home run for Washington. Mickey Lolich against Dick Bosman. Top of the sixth at Yankee Stadium. Red Sox and Yankees tied at 2. Sonny Siebert against Jack Aker. And top of the third in St. Louis. Astros 5, Cardinals 1. That's Jack Billingham against Chris Zachary. Now for the Orioles, bottom of the seventh, it will be Echeverren, Brooks Robinson, and Chico Simone. And Echeverren is 1 for 2. He hit a solo home run back in the fifth. 2-2 pitch. Oh, he got hit on the leg. I don't know. That seems a little sketchy. Here's Brooks Robinson. He's 0 for 2 today. Hard grounder down the line. Nettles is after it, but it's foul. In there below the belt, strike 2. Gonna miss, strike 3 on a curveball. Strikeout number 7 for McDowell. Here's Chico Simone. He's 0 for 2. Got the outside corner, strike 1. The fly ball in the left center. Baker going back. It's gone. Home run number 5 for Chico Simone. That makes it 5-3. Oof. Pinch hitting for Tom Dukes is Jerry Devannon. Devannon's hitting .289, no home runs, 5 runs batted in. As a pinch hitter, he's hitting .364 with two RBIs. 4 for 11 pitch hitting. The 1-2 pitch. Liner to left field. Base hit. 1 out. Runner on first. Here's Don Buford at the plate. He's 0 for 2. Walked in the third. He represents the tying run now. Outside, ball one. Low, ball two. Ball three. It's a liner to third, but that's right at Nettles. 2 outs. Here's Merv Rettenman. He's 0 for 2. He walked in the 6th inning. Fouls it back. Strike one. High and away. Ball one. In the dirt and inside. Ball two. Strike two called. Roller down the first base line, but that's foul. Low and away, ball three. Full count, 2 outs. The payoff pitch. Ball four. Vanna walks. That puts the tying run on base. Steve McGorry warming up. Here's Paul Blair. He's 2 for 3. He tripled in the first, and he singled in the 6th. He may be the last hitter that McDowell faces. Swing and a miss, strike one. Fouls it back, strike two. Low, ball one. Strike three. Baltimore gets 2 runs. They had 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left. We go to the 8th inning. It is Cleveland 5, Baltimore 3. Grant Jackson is the new pitcher for Baltimore. He's making his 16th appearance of the year. He is 2-1 with 2 saves. He has an ERA of 2.78. 45 and a third innings pitched. He's given up 36 hits, walked 9, and struck out 34. He has a whip of under 1. Vada Pinson leads off in the 8th. He is 2 for 4. Singled in the 4th, and he singled in the 6th. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike three. I was wondering if Grant Jackson would have been the starting pitcher for the Orioles today. He has been a spot starter for Baltimore. This is his first year in the American League. Came over from Philadelphia. Chris Chambliss, he's 0 for 2 today. He's walked twice. The 3-1 pitch. Little roller back to the pitcher. Jackson throws him out. 2 outs. Here's Ted Ullander. He's 2 for 4. He tripled in the first. Singled in the third, and then in the 4th inning and 6th inning, he grounded to the shortstop. And on both of those groundouts, Pinson advanced to third, and Chambliss advanced to second. The 1 pitch. Foul tip. Right. It's fly ball in the left field. Rettenman going back. He's got the wall, and he's got it. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We go to the bottom of the eighth. Cleveland 5, Baltimore 3. Greg Robinson leads off for Baltimore. He's 0 for 3 today. 2-0 pitch. Oh, he got hit on the shoulder. That's the second man that McDowell hit today. Here comes Elvin Dart. That'll be all for McDowell. Coming in a pitch is Phil Hennigan. Hennigan's making his 28th appearance of the year. He has a record of 2-1 with 3 saves, an ERA of 6.53. 41 in the third innings. He's given up 40 hits, 6 of those home runs. He's walked 33 and struck out 46. He brings the heat almost as much as McDowell and Steve Dunnington. And he keeps the ball up, so they gotta be careful not to give up a home run. Here is Kurt Moten, who is 0 for 3 today. Nope. Tom Chopay will pitch it. Chopay's hitting 286, no home runs, 5 runs batted in. 4 for 17 as a pinch hitter. It's a fly ball in the right field. Pinson has it. 1 out. Here's Andy Etchebarren. He's 1 for 2. He hit a solo home run back in the 5th. And then he was hit by a pitch in the 7th. That's low, ball 1. So Etchebarren has scored 2 of the 3 Baltimore runs today. About the corner, strike 1. Too high, ball 3. About the corner, strike 2. Down the middle, strike 3 call. 2 outs. And here's Brooks Robinson, who's 0 for 3 today. Hitting .311 in July. Fouls it back. Strike 2 called. Low and inside. Ball 1. He's not biting on that. It's a grounder to third. Nettles to his left. Tosses to second. 3 outs. No runs, no hits, no errors. They left 1 on base. We go to the 9th. It is Cleveland 5, Baltimore 3. Tom Chopay stays in the game in right field. Here's Greg Nettles. He's 2 for 3 today with 3 runs batted in. Singled in the 1st, driving in a run, and he singled in the 4th, driving in 2 runs. One pitch. Fly ball in the right field. Chopay coming in. He's got it. 1 out. Ray Fosse, he's 1 for 2 today. Singled in the 1st. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. He flied out in the 4th. And he flied out in the 6th. Veda Pinson scored on his sacrifice fly. That made it 5-1. The 0-2 pitch. Fly ball in the left field. Rettenman is there, and he's got it. 12. Here's Fred Stanley. He's over 3 today. It's a liner to third, and Buford is right there. 3 outs. Nothing across for Cleveland. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It is Cleveland 5, Baltimore 3. Coming in to play left field for Cleveland is Ted Ford. He's got excellent range as an outfielder, and he has quite an arm. It'll be Chico Simone, Grant Jackson's spot, and Don Buford. Bottom of the 9th. Chico Simone is 1 for 3. He hit a 2-run homer in the 7th. Two pitch. Bouncer to short. Stanley dives. Throws him out. Stanley drove into the hole. Or dove into the hole, I'm sorry. What a play. 1 out. Pitch hitting for Grant Jackson is Clay Dalrymple. Dalrymple's hitting .333, no home runs, 2 runs batted in. It's 2 for 6 as a pinch hitter. Yeah, it looks like every appearance he's had this year has been as a pinch hitter. And he's gotten into 3 games as a late inning catcher. His career goes back to 1960 with the Phillies. Came over to Baltimore in their pennant-winning year of 1969. Low pitch. Base hit in the left field. Don Buford's at the plate. He has an 8-game hitting streak. He's 0 for 3. He represents the tying run. Goes out to confer with Hennigan. Fosse does. Buford's hitting .298 in July. Fastball. Buford fouls it back. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 called. Low one outside, ball 2. Fly ball down the left field line, but that's hooking foul. Steve Hargan gets up to warm up in the Indians bullpen. It's a grounder to short. Stanley, the second for 1. The first, not in time. 2 outs. Buford's on first. Orioles are down to their last out. And Merv Rettenman's up. He's 0 for 2. He lined out in the first, grounded out in the third, walked in the 6th, and walked in the 7th. just inside. Ball. High. Ball 2. Up the tip. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Miss strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Another foul tip. At the shoulders and inside. Ball 3. High. Ball 4. And the tying run takes first. Here's Paul Blair. He's 2 for 4. He represents the winning run. He has 2 game-winning RBIs this season. He tripled in the first, struck out in the 4th, singled in the 6th, and struck out in the 7th. Here comes Alvin Dark. That'll be all for Hennigan. Coming in to pitch is Steve Hargan. He's making his 17th appearance of the year. He is 1-5 with a 4.88 ERA. He has walked 32, struck out 25. It's a grounder to third. Nettles. Throw to first. In time, the Indians win. Indians win 5-3. It's a nice change. They go into the All-Star break on a bit of a hot streak, winning 3 games in a row against the Major League leading Baltimore Orioles of all teams. Cleveland had 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. They left 10 on base. Baltimore had 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They left 9 men on base. Sam McDowell gets the win. He's 8-9. He had a good day today. He just started getting tired in the 7th inning. Dave Leonard takes the loss. He's 0-1. He gave up 9 hits and 4 walks. Steve Hargan gets a save. That's his first of the year. He had a very efficient pitching appearance. He threw 1 pitch and ended the game. Vada Pinson was 2 for 5 with a stolen base. Ted Uhlaender was 2 for 5 with a triple. Frank Baker 1 for 4 with a triple. For the Orioles, Chico Simone was 1 for 4 with a home run. He drove in 2. Paul Blair was 2 for 5 with a triple. And Andy Etchebarren was 1 for 3. He hit a solo home. Greg Nettles drove in 3 runs for the Indians. And he's the star of the game. Time of the game was 3 hours and 14 minutes. The Indians go into the All-Star break with a 30-60 record. But they have a 3-game winning streak, and they've had 3 games in a row now over the last 2 days where they had good pitching. Phil Hennigan looked good in his 1 2/3 inning. He just started getting tired, but he didn't give up any runs. He gave up only 1 hit, and he only walked 1. We've only walked 4 batters today. Next up on WJST, Parma, Norwich, Tuscaloosa, and Utah will be the All-Star game, which we played from Detroit this year. Normally at the All-Star break, I take a All-Star break of my own, usually for about a week or a week and a half. So I will probably be playing the All-Star game sometime during the week of Halloween. Not next week, but the week after. Give me a chance to recharge my batteries a little bit on this 1971 season, even though the Indians have a terrible record. This team is kind of fun to watch because they can hit the ball all right. The pitching is just been subpar. I don't know if this has just been a couple days of good pitching, or maybe they're starting to put it together. There are 8 games out of fifth place, so who knows if they'd be able to pass up the Red Sox. But they've got 72 games left, and so I guess we'll see what happens. I'll probably be posting before the All-Star game the All-Star team rosters and lineups, because I don't pull up I don't create the All-Star teams until all the games are finished before the All-Star game. I'll probably do that early next week, and then probably a week later I will play the All-Star game. This year it's in Detroit, and the first thing I want to do before playing the All-Star game is sit down and watch the actual 1971 All-Star game and see if my All-Star game is like a home run hitting session like that game was. I don't remember that All-Star game. I don't think I watched it. The first year I actually remember watching the All-Star game was a year later in 1972. But this wraps up, I guess, the first half of the calendar season in 1971. Once again, the final score: Cleveland 5, Baltimore 3. Cleveland goes into the All-Star break with a 3-game winning streak, winning 3 of 4 from the hard-hitting Baltimore Orioles. Hope you enjoyed this game. I know I did. In Baltimore, they're probably like, yeah, whatever. You know, drops the Orioles to 62 and 25. But in Cleveland, I'm sure they were on the edge of their seats watching this game. Thanks for watching, and I will be back in a week and a half with the 1971 All-Star game. Thanks for watching.